Simon, how has the week been on the practice court and how's the general mood been around the club?
Well, I think we weren't particularly pleased with ourselves as a Monday morning. Was it Monday morning, Tuesday morning. Let me start again. As of Tuesday morning, our first training session, we had a fairly robust video session, and I thought the response on the training track was fantastic. Maybe even our best training session of the year. Followed that up with a strong one yesterday, and today's was solid. Didn't finish the way I would like, but I think overall you'd say we've had a pretty strong week on the training track in preparation for Cairns.
Every game counts from here to make it into the top four. How has the group steeled themselves for what lies ahead in the next 6 games?
Well, I mean, it's an easy stance to sort of say everything counts now. I think everything's counted since day one. It's become a little bit more urgent, and even to the point where we need other results to go our way. We've got areas of the game that we need to continue to work on and get better at. And, over and above a situation that we've found ourselves in, those are the areas that, or those are the topics that we need to address to even give ourselves a chance to make a playoff run. So it's probably more process driven than outcome driven at this stage. So, we're been sort of focusing on what we need to do, not what outcome we're looking for.
Joe Chi was back on the training court this week. How's the knee and will he take his place in the team against Cairns on Saturday?
Yeah, Joe's been on the court the last 3 days. He's trained really well. Because those sessions have been extremely physical, he's kind of been a little baptism by fire this week. We haven't been able to ease him in. He's come in and straight into the trenches. So he survived that and held up really well and prospered. So, we look forward to having him back in uniform for Cairns.
What's the latest on Ryan Brokoff?
The latest is that he is on the floor getting his workouts in. He hasn't done any combative things on the floor with his teammates just yet. He did a little bit of physicality on another court today. Some sessions there. We'll see how he pulls up. But I think we're looking at him taking his place back in the team for Melbourne United.
Creaky, what have the conversations been like within the playing group to try and recapture some of that early season from going forward?
I think if we had the answers, it'd be a lot easier just to kind of go out and implement them and not give away all our secrets. But I think we're letting ourselves down on probably the 24th second of the shot clock too many times. Myself as a leader included, I've got to be a lot better in big moments defensively. In scout stuff, trying to make sure there's no breakdowns whatsoever, not missing any box outs. For us, it's doing the simple things well and being very effective in those small little things. But ultimately, those are the things that are losing us games. I think we did the numbers, and Simon can attest. I think we had about 78 points out of Adelaide's 104 or whatever they scored, or 80-something points came out of one-on-one defensive assignments, just one-on-one man-to-man defense, box outs, and then transition points. So 3 areas of the game that don't require a whole lot of intellect apart from you just being tougher than your other guys. So, I've got to set the tone with that, but at the same time, we've got to hold each other accountable. And I think at the start of the season, we're doing a better job of that, but we have to really knuckle down for this week's game, especially against Cairns, who are very penetrating offensively.
How has the guys responded on the training court, and has training had a bit of an edge to it within the group?
There's definitely been an edge all year, but I think there's times where we have that handshake agreement of like, let's get through the session. And you never really want that too often. Understandably, there's going to be people that are really sore or niggling with injuries. But, other than that, it's hell for bent. You've got to go for it and put your nuts on the line right now. And, there's been that bite at training. You have that chippiness towards each other. It might be starters one day. It might be, a mix of teams in, 3-on-3 transition games. It's there. The bite's there. We're ready to go. We're hungry to kind of go out and not just do it in the training venue when the lights aren't really on and when it doesn't count. We've got to do it when the lights are on and it means everything. And I think if we do that this week, we'll put ourselves in a good position to finish this season the right way.
What did the team take out of our last game against Cairns, and how would that reflect on the way the team plays on Saturday night?
I think we did a pretty good job of containing the ball for a good portion of the game and making it hard for them to get too many second chance points. We gave up a few easy ones. We let them get a couple here and there, but we tightened the screws just enough when we needed to. We had that belief, and we did a great job of throwing the ball down low. Joe Chi and Bash will be phenomenal again for us this week. I'm certain of it. We kept ourselves out of foul trouble, and we put them in a position to foul a lot. So we could set up our defense, slow the pace down, get some rest. And I think we'll look to do much the same this week.
Simon, Dane Pennell plays his 100th NBL game on Saturday. How happy are you for him to reach this milestone and be healthy and playing regular games after last year's run of injuries?
Dane's been through a fair bit in recent times. Name the injury, he's pretty much had it in the last 18 months. So, it's good to see him being able to string games together this year. There's been a little bit of management of Dane and his body. But the fact is that he's been on the majority of our training, or a vast majority of our training sessions, and he's getting through games, and I feel like he's getting stronger. So for him to make the 100, I'm tremendously proud of him. He's a great kid, really, really good player. And hopefully we can string another 100 in him, and injury-free would be great.
And Creaky, what does Dane bring the team from a player's perspective?
He brings the toughness and an edge. His relentless pursuit. He's not the biggest 5-man in the world, but he's a very hard worker. He does a great job of making people respect him in a way that you can't take a possession off when Dane's on the floor. He's going to crash the overboards. He's going to run the floor well. He's going to set screens. He's going to roll. And that's just his physical attributes. Ask him yourself. He'll tell you he's the funniest guy on the team. There's no doubt about that. He's a character. He brings a great energy to the group. And I think that's, sometimes people come into teams and their role, is to be a phenomenal player. But once you're established as a phenomenal player, and he's done a great job in his career so far and with us, it's the little things off the court that no one sees. It's the conversations behind closed doors. And, I've got so much time and love and respect for Dane. I spent quite a bit of time around the big fella, and we've got a great relationship. So I know I say it on behalf of everyone and the team, all the fans that have met him, anyone that he's had an effect on in their lives. He's an amazing human being. We're lucky to have him. 100 games is phenomenal, but I think there's going to be 100 more for sure coming up soon.